for my garbage person of the week, Brett says sometimes you choose the big names, sometimes you choose the randos. I'm gonna go more rando, and I'm gonna go more just the little petty, stupid things that bother you that are garbagey rather than the big, really damaging things. I'm gonna show you a little bit of video from Fox News. This is host Tammy Bruce.
Watched as Joe Biden made a fool of himself at the podium over and over again. First, during a speech on democracy, he quoted a line from the Declaration of Independence. That's nice, but he made a few modern changes.
We say, we hold these truths to be self-evident, that all women and men are created equal, endowed by their creator with certain inalienable rights, among them life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Democracy doesn't happen by accident. We have to renew it with each generation.
All righty, notice how he added women and men are created equal, not just men. It matters, right? That's not what the founders wrote. Apparently, the sacred words of our founders weren't inclusive enough for Sleepy Joe, so he corrected them.
That is just so incredibly lame on every level. Oh, it's like the sacred words of the founders weren't good enough. So she is so searching for a thing to have an issue with Joe Biden about. She later would go on to have an issue with the fact that he read something in the teleprompter that he wasn't supposed to. Like she is in a big studio where like thousands of people work. And she's all dressed up in professional clothes and she has professional graphics next to her. And she's complaining that he acknowledged that women matter too. And she's doing that because she knows the audience, one, wants to see misogyny and especially wants to see it from a female host on their network. And so she's just delivering it with no passion. She doesn't even seem to care what she says. And it's just the constant degrading of our society, our ability to communicate, our expectations for the media or for politics. It's all petty and stupid, but I couldn't, it was the straw that broke John's back this week, I think.
That's insane. I hadn't seen that. She's debasing herself to the pleasure of men for money.
Yes,
she is. And like the thing she's doing, like what to what end? You're saying that the women aren't created equal? It wasn't in there. And then if you want any further, she goes down the line of how we decided to acknowledge as a society that women were created equal to men, and all races were created equal as well. That's critical race theory, Tam Tam. So I apologize, but you are an advocate of it if you want to go any further down this road.
Yeah.
We're gonna need critical race theory to find out how the American founders actually came around to deciding you could have a say.
Yeah, 100%. It's so see-through, so transparent, so pathetic. That said, what's not pathetic is the number of you who voted this week in our Garbage People of the Week poll. 32,000 of you voted, and here are your top 5 garbage people for the week as you voted them in. At number 5 with 8% of the vote is Ron DeSantis for his ridiculous comments on fighting climate change, just total surrender. At number 4 with 11% of the vote is Mark Meadows for calling his own book fake news. Number 3 this week with 15% of the vote is Fox for trying to make their Christmas tree burning the new Benghazi. Really, that was just number 3. Interesting, I wouldn't have predicted that. Number 2, 16% of the vote is Thomas Massey for posting a gun-filled family Xmas photo. But number 1 with 50% of the vote, the Better.com CEO for laying off over 900 employees over Zoom and then making it worse with every additional thing he said. By the way, he is now taking some time off as the company looks into their leadership. So we'll see if he gets Cuomo'd or if he just comes slinking back in a few weeks, but not a great time for him. Thank you to everybody who voted in our poll today. Check out the Damage Report podcast each day, wherever you get your podcasts, whether Pocket Casts or Stitcher or iTunes. You can join me as I give you the news and stories you want with a range of co-hosts and interview guests jumping in on the fun each day. Again, that's the Damage Report, wherever you get your podcasts. And if you get them at iTunes, don't forget to rate and review. Sometimes I'll read them live on the show.